Welcome to my podcast, The Solitary Lark. This is my unofficially second first video. I did a podcast episode like almost 5 years ago, and it was The Solitary Lark. And at that time, I really wanted to just do what I normally do in the context of the solitary lark. But as of lately, I have felt that I need to and want to just document more my own personal journey. And honestly, the solitary lark is a perfect culmination of that, because the name in itself, a little songbird that finds itself in solitude. And I want this let's see, I want this series to just kind of reflect my own personal growth and journey, and to reflect the things that I think about in my solitude, to just reflect, to explore my own being. I owe it to myself, is what I understood. Because, as you can see, if you're familiar with my channel, or, if you are just coming across my channel now, like, you can see that I have a long history of videos that I've shared. And as far as the last few years go, it's definitely been a lot more speaking truth, sharing truth, exploring topics. I'm not going to say that I've been perfect within that. And that's the thing, is I want this experience to be me overcoming this sort of perfectionism. Because I've always felt like I have to say something profound, it has to be perfect, I have to be perfect, blah, 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 blah. But we don't need that. Especially these days, we see AI coming up and rising up, and people being so consumed with it, and just I don't know if like people actually like AI, or if the system just wants to make people think that. No, I'm gonna say that I see people like promoting AI, like real people promoting AI. And I just think it's dumb, because if you're a content creator, for example, if you're a content creator and you utilize AI to create your posts, like, that's not you writing it. That's you saying, "Can you help me create a post that talks about how I overcame this through this? Like, can you help me formulate my own experience about it?" Like, cool, okay, you didn't have to do the work about it, but like, it's not real. Like, I'd rather just come forward and create something that like I formulated through my brain. And I think like some people like, this more fabricated like way of being. That's just, sorry, I'm just making sense of my like waves here. Okay, I'm gonna stop touching my hair. It is what it is. That's another thing about the solitary lark, and how I'm gonna go about this moving forward, is I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna show up for my community. I'm gonna show up for myself. Because I will not make progress within this process unless I show up for myself. Really. So, and that's the thing about everything in life. I had this thought recently that, nobody's waiting on you for your own success. Nobody's waiting on you. Ultimately. Yes, in life we are social creatures, and social systems, whether that's your friends or your living scenario, your children, etc., etc., etc. We do live in social structures. There are people who, like, are impacted by your success or your lack of success. I'm not gonna say that that's not the case. But as far as like my own personal experience goes, I'm just over here thinking like nobody else is suffering the way that I'm suffering from not following through with the things that I feel I need to do. Nobody else is feeling this like this like feeling of I haven't shown up. I haven't shown up. They just don't see me. They just don't see me. You just don't see me. But you're seeing me right now. And yeah, like the biggest thing that's held me back is fear, internalized. I wish this was like a little more straight. Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna show up even if I look a little like off kilter. Like today was my wash day, my hair wash day, so I feel great. Like I feel it's so nice. Like when I wash my hair, and just like going with the journey of it, going with the journey of my hair. I love it. I love it. Like really, I do. But yeah, I'm gonna just show up no matter what I look like. I'm gonna show up if I feel like no matter how I feel, and that's another thing is I just want to be more transparent about like how I feel. um, so this episode, is called Versions I've Loved Before. And I wanted to explore the topic of the different versions of myself that I've been and met through my journey. And as I was like, as I was just thinking about it previous to recording this and, just verbalizing it a bit, I was able to see different chapters and how I've had like certain chapters, like for example I've had a couple chapters of my life that were like very strenuous and a lot of growth, like a lot, like not easy growth, difficult growth, and like I'll of course like the people that I've been around throughout different chapters of my life have defined my story to a large extent. I recognize that there were people there to push me in my life, and there were people there to hold space for me while I rest. Different chapters. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my hard mentors. I'm grateful for my loving mentors. I'm grateful for my safe spaces. The people that were safe spaces to me and that are safe spaces to me. And those safe space eras were peaceful moments. And I'm really grateful for that because I didn't grow up with that. I grew up with a lot of chaos. So I guess like some, no, I had peace too. I had peace in my upbringing. It was colored by both experiences. So, one thing that I want to say is that I think like as I've been getting older and older, as I've been getting older, I've been more fully, and this is very recently, that I've been more fully understanding that, there's this element of like discovering the self and finding out who you are, like just trying to understand who am I, who am I. There's an element of trying to understand who I am. But the more chapters that I experience with myself, I'm like, oh, I've always been this person. As a child, I would say like from 16 on, that's like the last decade for me. From 16 on, I had this sort of, I would call it disassociative amnesia. I did not remember so much of my life, so much of my childhood. There were specific moments of trauma that I remembered very clearly, and I still remember these. But as of lately in my life, I am in a safe space. I'm in a safe space. I'm actually in a space in my life where I'm unfolding because I have this space to do though. I have the space to do so. I have this safety where I can unfold and explore these different parts of me. And my memories are coming back. I'm remembering all sorts of little things. Like I'm remembering the freaking the mail boy, the newspaper boy. Like I would see like in my earliest years, like the first decade of my life, I'm remembering just little things like that. And it feels so good. Like I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to be remembering my life because it's been so long. It's been so long. I'm remembering these little memories. They're coming back to me, and I'm just feeling like, oh, this girl that you are, you've been her. You've been her. She is you. And that's really nice and really comforting to just know that I'm not, okay. It's a newfound sense of like coming back together, the fragments, the pieces are coming back together. Sorry, I just want to check the time. I have a meeting in a little while. I have a meeting with my friend. It's very nice. So, anyway, versions that I've loved before. So yeah, as I said before, there were a couple times that were very strenuous growth. It's 10:03. Okay. It's 10:03. So, yeah, very strenuous moments of growth, and those times were very hard for me. I'll just give a little bit of context. As one of them I can remember was I got married when I was 21. And I was married for a little over a year, and it was such a difficult experience for me. It was difficult because I was really, I do think that I'm good in relationship. Obviously, I have some trauma. Like, I have trauma, but I genuinely will show up for people, and like I genuinely will work on myself. And at that point in my life, I saw a lot of problems in our relationship, and I took responsibility for all of them, and it was not my responsibility. So I was consistently like tinkering at like my soul and like my own processes. And I was also uncovering a lot of trauma at that era in my life. I was waking up to like, holy crap, I'm very affected by trauma of my childhood. And holy crap, like my parents don't value, like they don't respect my boundaries. Like they've always been the type to actually like well, especially my mother. She's the type that will intentionally cross my boundaries. And yeah, there's a lot of abuse. And I'm finally to a point where I can say that. Where I can say that for what it is, And that's not to bash on her. That's just to say that there was a lot of abuse. And, some people like to just, it's, it's patterns. It's patterns that I've been able to see. And, like, okay, the other strenuous time in my life was this last job that I was working before I had my son. I had my son recently, and I was working a job for some time before that, and that was a very strenuous time of growth. The reason I bring that up is because I see these patterns of my childhood trauma, like people that will just put me down and they like hate me, like it's a certain jealousy, honestly. But it's coming from a person who is very underdeveloped and they don't realize that, like they don't see it. We can call it narcissism. We can call it that. But don't take that out of context. You know? Some people just don't like somebody and they're like, yeah, narcissist. But like I'm talking about pathological narcissism. And the thing I'll say about this too is like I experienced elements of it in my childhood, especially with like multiple forces like joining together like around me, and that really like it programmed my psyche. But I can see where okay, this comes from this person, this comes from this person, this comes from this person. But I feel like this last working situation that I was in, it was like I was like experiencing all of that at the hands of one person, and it was very intense. And I was like, holy moly, like it like I finally got to the point where I said, no more. No more. I'm not going to tolerate this anymore. I'm not going to accept this treatment anymore because I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. I didn't start it, I didn't provoke it, and I don't deserve it. Like it's a person hating on your character, like for because they can't reach it. They can't attain that. They haven't learned how. And that's the thing people don't understand is like it takes a lot of fucking work. It takes a lot of work to like be able to be so clear. To be able to be very clear and to have intention of like, okay, this is how I operate and this is why I don't operate the other way. This is why I choose to do this and this is who I am. This is what's truest to me. Like it takes work to get there and to understand that. And a lot of these people who haven't done the work are the people who will live through these patterns of like just gossip, putting people down, just trying to elevate themselves because they feel so insecure and they feel so bad. Like I'm not like that. And so when I get around people that are like that, they just like tear me apart, trying to make me feel bad about myself. It's just like why? So I can finally say that at this point, I don't allow people to do that to me anymore. If you got me feeling some type of way, I'm gonna listen. And I'm gonna say, yeah, I don't need to be around this person. Like access denied. And a large part of there's many topics to this topic. There's many topics to this topic. And I'm like, should I tell you about my life or should I just talk about what's coming up? Yeah, I see. So, okay, recently I was reflecting on some videos that I had, just videos from a couple of years ago. My 23-year-old era. And I was like looking at her, I was like, she's beautiful. Like she really was beautiful. And this is a very special era for me. This is a very special time. There's like waves. My life has been in waves. I've definitely had some years that were like very traumatic and very like draining on my spirit. I feel like this last year, like, it's been getting better for sure. Like, more recently. For the last 6 months, it's been getting a lot better. And that's because I said no more. No more bullshit. No more abuse. I said that. And I said no more abuse. And things have been getting better. You set the standard, baby. You set the standard. Things have been getting better. So, but yeah, the year before that, the year before this last 6 months, the year before that was drained my spirit. So I'm in a bit of recovery right now. But we're recovering. We are recovering. But yeah, I was like looking back at 23-year-old me and I was like, damn, she's beautiful. Okay, she was in the environment of like trauma, that like childhood trauma. She was in that environment and she was making a lot of discoveries about herself and about her trauma. She was doing some work in her lineages, which, you know, lineages that are living but aren't addressing these things or acknowledging them. So she was kind of alone in this endeavor of discovery of her lineages and the pains, the woundings, the ancestral gunk that she was still carrying. But yeah, she was beautiful. Okay, she was beautiful. Like, the way that she presented herself in the world was so beautiful. She was beautiful. Her expressions were beautiful. She was happy. She was happy. One thing about that specific year, so she quit her job. She quit her job, and she also just let her car registration expire, and she didn't drive her car. Through the summer, she was going everywhere, but she wasn't driving her car. She was riding her bike. She was riding her skateboard. She was taking public transportation. She was walking. Like, she, at that time, was experiencing what life has to offer beyond a job and a car and consumerism, okay? She was basically living, like, off of fruit off the trees, like beautiful fruit, the best fruit. The best fruit of my life. You know? Because she chose to sacrifice, like, this certain concept of money and consumerism and, like, the hustle and the grind, and she sat back and she focused on healing herself and living life. That was such a joyful time, because, like, I can say that experience, like, that year was so packed full of experience and also community. That's when I feel like my community started coming, you know? And my community now consists of many of those people that I connected with 2 years ago, just initially, like, oh, hi, you're cool, hey, cool, let's spend some time together. Now it's like I have more more substantial relationships with these people. And the seeds began there. And, you know, I started dancing again. Like, there's a drum circle in my community, Salt Lake City, y'all. Salt Lake City. Please come. You have a great tour guide. You just let me know. It's a beautiful place. So anyway, I think I'll share this and I'll wrap up. Cause my son is, he's chatting. He's getting there. So, yeah. Anyway, so many of my blessings have come because I've opened up, because I've shown myself to a community outside of my community that I grew up in. Because those people would judge me. Not all of them. And that's the thing I have to remind myself, is, like, not all of them just are there to criticize me. That's just the conditioning of, like, my upbringing. And also my experience leaving the LDS church. Because I was very active within that church. Hello. I was personally very active. And then I changed. And people didn't know how to cope with that. Certain people, you know. Hi. Hello. He's so cute. So yeah, I was just gonna say that so we have drum circle every Sunday. It's our church. Really, it's our church. But it's a beautiful community, you know, and such a blessing in my life. But yeah, I started dancing. And I danced as a kid. I was always dancing. And then I just stopped for some time. Hello. I stopped for some time, but then in this community I started dancing again. And there's a lot of people there. There's a lot of people, you know. It ebbs and it flows, but, like, people started seeing me. And people were like, damn, girl, you can dance. Like, I was just moving my body. I was just feeling the music. I definitely have learned more dance. Hi. more dance over the last few years, just stepping back into it. And I would say my skills as a musician have developed too. Like, I owe so much to that community and just that space. And so many people can say the same. But I started dancing again and reconnecting to myself, and like, yeah, it's just been such a beautiful unfolding of experiences that have come from that community. I love them. I love them. I love that. I love that experience in my life. Like, I have goosebumps. I don't know if that's because I'm cold or if that's because I'm grateful, but I'm definitely grateful for all the chapters of my life. Yeah, I think that's a good wrap up. Like, I know I didn't go deeply into all my chapters, but that's what this podcast is for, and I'm just gonna show up. I'm gonna show up for me, I'm gonna show up for you, and I'm gonna document this shit because because like life is cool. I don't want to lose it. I mean, there's always things in life you'll lose, but like genuine expressions and genuine creations coming from a pure place, like, they're timeless. They're timeless. So yeah, versions of me that I've loved before. I give thanks for them. I honor them. I understand that, like, one chapter doesn't define the whole of Michaela. I love myself. I love myself for how I've protected myself. I love myself for how I've continued on this journey of growth, of development, of discovery. I'm so grateful for myself right now. For me, I'm grateful for me because I'm allowing myself to be myself. I'm grateful for the support that I have and the beautiful people in my life. Yeah, and I'm just so excited. I'm just so excited for every new chapter that's ahead of me. Because the world is our oyster. The world is our oyster. Our playground. We can create whatever we want, so I'm just super excited. I'm super excited to get better at the things that I want to be better at. Like, do you want to see my painting? I've been doing a scribble painting. This is my scribble painting. You can look at it. I'll let you look at it. But this has just been me putting color down. And I'm still, like, it's still unfolding too. I don't know, it's, it's just life. It's just life. But yeah, I'm expressing myself. And I'm not judging myself anymore. I'll show you my butterfly. It's still in process, but I like it. It's fun. Yeah, I make art. If you want to see my art, I have an Instagram channel. An Instagram page where I'm putting my art, and I'm doing more art. So yeah, art, music is coming. Music is coming. Podcast is happening. So many blessings to you all, and thank you, especially if you listen to this whole thing. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here with me. And also, this is for my own documentation too. So, like, if you seriously, like, listened to me share this, like, I just love it. I'm so grateful. So you'll only see this if you watch the whole way through. So thank you. Thank you. Many blessings, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Goodbye.